Namaskar students. Hope you are hale and hearty, taking care of your health and your studies. My name is Jyotsna and I am from Education Department, Chandigarh. I'll be with you throughout this session today. Before we begin, I would just like to remind you how rich our culture is. India is known globally for a diverse and a very rich cultural heritage. Even after so much of diversity, we have still managed to keep the democratic principles in our society, for which we are appreciated globally. Talking about this diversity on the grounds of gender, religion, and caste, we shall proceed further with today's session. Today, we shall be taking up chapter number 4 from your book Democratic Politics. The name of the chapter is Gender, Religion and Caste. So, let's get going. Gender, Religion and Caste. In the previous chapter, we noted that the existence of social diversity does not threaten democracy. In this chapter, we apply this idea to the practice of democracy in India. We look at 3 kinds of social differences that can take the form of social divisions and inequalities. These are social differences based on gender, religion, and caste. The gender division tends to be understood as natural and unchangeable. It is not based on biology, but on social expectations and stereotypes. Let's take up the public and the private division. Before going into gender stratification in particular, let's take up briefly about the stratification in general and then go on to introduce the former. The term stratification is considered to be synonymous to inequality. It refers to a system of ranking or hierarchical division of society. Any system of hierarchy in a particular society owes its origin to many things ranging from heredity, as in case of caste in India, economic background, class, to socially created norms relating to gender and power mainly. Stratification is universal since it is found in every society from primitive to the modern, and it is not confined only to societies with private property. But yes, the criteria of this stratification changes with the emergence of private property. Stratification thus starts as a process of physical and biological, along with the natural differences among human beings, and culminates as gender, racial, caste, ethnic, and class divisions in society. The type of stratification that we will take today revolves around gender. The term gender is purely a social construction that members of society attach to females and males. The term sex refers to the biological differences between man and women, but gender is always created and imposed upon by social actors through different means. These means are means of socialization and internalization of social norms. Biologically, the differences between men and women are very little as compared to the traits and characters that are culturally defined and determined. A person is only born biologically different species, but is created as a boy or a girl by the society. Family, peer groups, schools, mass media, etc. are the agencies which contribute towards gender socialization and stereotypes. It is reinforced through praise for compliance and mockery for non-compliance. Gender stratification refers to the unequal distribution of wealth, power, prestige, unequal access to justice, opportunity, and nutrition between men and women, in which men are the ones who dominate. The dual process of domination and subordination is an important feature of any system of stratification, including gender stratification. Gender also involves hierarchy. Males are considered to be chief bread earners. They are seen as public, aggressive, masculine, dominating, and powerful. The girls are taught to be private, good homemakers, submissive, delicate, and feminine. It is from these attached social connotations that become the initial point of gender stratification and inequality. The stratification, as mostly imagined, is not confined to the culturally backward societies. Even the so-called highly developed societies do display some form of gender hierarchy or stratification. Some of the features like names and dress are very explicit signs of gender differentiation in the society. Gender stratification varies from culture to culture. The gender stratification is also termed as sexist or sexism. In a patriarchal society, men dominate over women in terms of economy, power, and decision making in a family. The result of this division of labor is that though women constitute half of the humanity, their role in public life, especially politics, is minimal in most societies. Earlier, only men were allowed to participate in public affairs, vote, and contest for public offices. Gradually, the gender issues were raised in politics. It demanded to enhance the political and legal status of women and improve their educational and career opportunities. The movements which were raised by women to get equality in personal and family life are called feminist movements. Patriarchal society, women face disadvantage, discrimination, and oppression in various ways. As for example, if we take the literacy rate among women is only 54% compared with 76% among men. On an average, an Indian woman works 1 hour more than an average man every day, and yet much of her work is not paid. The Equal Remuneration Act 1976 provides that equal wages should be paid to equal work. In India, sex-selective abortion led to decline in child sex ratio, number of girl children per 1,000 boys. Urban areas have become particularly unsafe for women. Women's political representation. Issues related to women are not given adequate attention. This has led many feminist and women movements to the conclusion that unless women control power, their problems will not get adequate attention. In India, the percentage of elected women members in Lok Sabha touched nearly 12% of its total strength for the first time in 2014. Their share in the state assemblies is less than 5%. One way to solve women problem is to have a fair proportion of women in the elected bodies. In panchayats and municipalities, 1/3 of seats in local government bodies are reserved for women. Now there are more than 10 lakh elected women representatives in rural and urban local bodies. Gender division is an example that some form of social divisions need to be expressed in politics. This also shows that disadvantaged groups do benefit when social divisions become a political issue. Now let's take up a very quick recap of what we have done till now. So on your screens you can find a question. Along with that you have 4 options. You have to pick the correct option. Let's do it. The system where father is the head of the family is called hierarchy, matriarchy, patriarchy, or monarchy. Yes, the system where father is the head of family is called patriarchy. Very good. In India, the representation of women in legislation has been moderate, high, low, or very low. In India, the representation of women in legislature has been very low. When we speak of gender divisions, we usually refer to biological differences between men and women, unequal roles assigned by society to men and women, unequal child sex ratio, or Absence of voting rights for women in democracies. Yes, the answer is very clear that when we speak of gender divisions, we usually refer to unequal roles assigned by the society to men and women. Okay, let's proceed further. Take up religion. So, religion in India is characterized by a diversity of religious beliefs and practices. The preamble of Indian Constitution states that India is a secular state. The Indian subcontinent is the birthplace of 4 of the world's major religions, namely Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. According to the 2011 census, 79.8% of population of India practices Hinduism, 14.2 adheres to Islam, 2.3 adheres to Christianity, 1.7 adheres to Sikhism, and 0.7 adheres to Buddhism. Along with that, 0.4 adheres to Jainism. India has the largest population of people belonging to Parsis and Iranis in the world. Even though this religion initially grew in Persia, throughout India's history, religion has been an important part of country's culture. Religious diversity and religious tolerance are both established in country by the law and custom. The Constitution of India has declared the right to freedom of religion to be a fundamental right. In the pie chart given above, we can clearly see what the census of 2011 spoke. Hinduism has the maximum number to it. Islam following it next. Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, all becoming an integral part of it. And then there are some others as well, which constitute around 0.9%. So the division based on religious differences are often expressed in the field of politics. In India, there are followers of different religions. People should be able to express in politics their needs, interests, and demands as a member of a religious community. But how this religion turns into communalism? Let's take it up. So, we'll take it up. Communalism. The use of religion in politics is called communal politics. When beliefs of one religion are represented as superior to those of other religions, it is called communalism. When the demand of one religious group are formed in opposition to another, again a part of communal politics. When state power is used to establish the domination of one religious group over the rest, again becomes communal. Communalism can take various forms in politics as we talk about now. Like for the very first, the most common expression of communalism is in everyday beliefs. It involves religious prejudices, stereotypes of religious communities, and belief in the superiority of one's religion over the others. A communal mind often leads to a quest for political dominance of one's own religious community. Political mobilization on religious lines involves the use of sacred symbols, religious leaders, emotional appeal, and plain fear in order to bring the followers of one religion together in the political arena. Sometimes communalism takes its most ugly form of communal violence, riots, massacre. For example, India and Pakistan suffered some of the worst communal riots at the time of partition. But India is a secular state. So what is a secular state? Some of the features of India as a secular state are: there is no official religion for India as a state. The Constitution provides all individuals and communities freedom to profess, practice, and propagate any religion or not to follow any. The Constitution prohibits discrimination on the ground of religion. The Constitution allows the state to intervene in the matters of religion in order to ensure equality within religious communities. For example, it bans untouchability. Let's have a quick revision of this portion as well. So, which of these is true about the most ugly form of communalism? Communal violence, riots, or massacre? The fourth option is all the above. So, which of these is true about the most ugly form of communalism? Communal violence, riots, massacre, or all the above? Communalism has all the above traits to it. It has communal violence, riots, and massacre. Moving on, the distinguished feature of communalism is followers of a particular religion must belong to one community. Communalism leads to the belief that people belonging to different religions can live as equal citizens within one nation. A communal mind does not lead to quest for political dominance of one's own religious community. A secular constitution is sufficient to combat communalism. So the distinguished feature of communalism is that followers of particular religion must belong to one community. It is a very fanatic phenomenon. What is the percentage of Hindus in India as per 2011 census? Is it 14.2, 79.8, 90 or 91? 79.8 is the correct answer. Alright, from here we move on to caste and politics. Caste and politics both have some positive and some negative aspects. Let's look at them. First of all, let's take up the caste inequalities in India. In most societies, occupations are passed on from one generation to another. Caste system is an extreme form of this. In this system, members of the same caste, the group, were supposed to form a social community that practiced the same or similar occupation, married within the caste group, and did not eat with members from the other caste groups. With economic development, large-scale urbanization, growth of literacy and education, occupational mobility, and the weakening of position of landlords in the villages, the old notions of caste hierarchy are breaking down. The Constitution of India also prohibits any caste-based discrimination and laid down the foundation of policy to reverse the injustice of the caste system. So how this caste plays a role in politics? Caste can take various forms in politics. When parties choose their candidate or when governments are formed, political parties usually take care that representatives of different caste and tribe find a place in it. Political parties and candidates in elections make appeal to the caste sentiment to win the elections. To gain support, political parties raise caste-based issues during elections to get political support, as one man, one vote system or a universal adult franchise has made the voter very powerful. Political parties have made people belonging to lower caste conscious about their rights to vote and their power. During election, caste matters, but it is not everything. There are many other factors that impact the elections. People's assessment of the performance of the government and the popularity rating of the leaders are considered during the elections. So let's have a close look at these points. Candidates and parties need to win the confidence of more than one caste and community to win elections. No party wins the votes of all the voters of a caste or a community. Some voters have more than one candidate from their caste, while many voters have no candidate from their caste. The ruling party and the sitting MP or MLA keeps changing whenever fresh elections take place. Politics in caste. Politics also influence the caste system, and caste identifies by bringing them into the political arena. Here are a few points that support this. Each caste group tries to become bigger by incorporating within its neighboring caste or subcastes. Various caste groups are formed with other castes or communities, and then they enter into a dialogue and negotiation. New kind of caste groups have come up in the political arena, like backward and the forward classes. Thus, caste plays different kind of role in politics. In some cases, caste divisions lead to tension, conflict, and even violence. Even after so much of diversity, the Constitution of India stands by its citizens to give them an equal and a just atmosphere. And that is the soul of democratic constitution or a democratic form of government our country has. So let's have a quick glance at what we have done till now. So you have a question on your screen. Along with that, you have 4 options. Let's see. What is leading to the breakdown of caste hierarchy? Is it large-scale urbanization, growth of literacy and education, occupational mobility, or all of the above. So, it is all of these factors that break down the caste hierarchy. Moving on, what steps are taken to provide representation to women in panchayats and municipalities? Is it reservation for election to half of the seats for women, appointment of 1/3 women members, reservation for election to 1/3 of seats for women, or none of the above? So it is the reservation for election to 1/3 of the seats for women. Which among the following statement about India's constitution is wrong? It prohibits discrimination on grounds of religion. It gives official status to one religion. It provides all individuals freedom to profess any religion. Ensures equality of citizens within religious communities. So, India giving official status to any one religion is totally wrong. With this, we come to the end of this video. I hope it was an enriching experience for you. We'll be back with many more videos. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep studying. Namaskar.